and lives the more labor it sucks. And yet he believed capitalism was to be its own gravedigger. Behind the dynamism and productiveness of capitalism, Marx saw the appalling conditions it offered to working men and women, living cramped in overcrowded tenements with open sewers, crippled by hunger, illness and debt, and by the constant fear of unemployment, slumps and crises of capitalism. Marx believed that the experience of capitalism would begin to unify the proletariat as a class. He wrote, "With the development of industry, the proletariat not only increases in number, it becomes concentrated in greater masses. Its strength grows and it feels that strength more." Marx believed that the workers would increasingly abandon attempts at compromise and reform. They would challenge the capitalist system through trade unions and political parties. These industrial and political struggles would produce a class-conscious labor movement that would finally overthrow capitalism. Marx rooted his analysis in the realities of 19th century industry, partly learned from his friend Engels, a mill owner in Manchester, then the hub of world production. Marx made no claim that his analysis would be good for all time. So what relevance does it have 100 years later? What stands on the site of Engels' original factory? What kind of capitalism remains? Well, for a start, not much, because recession has struck here as elsewhere. Capitalism seems to have disappeared, though not quite in the way Marx imagined. But in one corner of the factory, it's a different story. Thriving young business manufactures high-tech microchip control systems for the leisure industry. Its managing director is 22 years old.
I don't know really how Marx would see us now. I suppose by the definition of capitalism, yes, I'm a capitalist. I'd like to think that I'm not the same sort of capitalist that used to be here in the time of Marx. I think capitalism still exists. Obviously it's got to if people are going to work, produce things, make a profit and create jobs. However, I think the overall face of it has changed an awful lot. Nowadays there's much more cooperation between myself and the people working here. The product that we're manufacturing the most of at the moment is the snooker light. It goes into a snooker club and monitors the actual table usage. We've installed them in snooker clubs all over the country.
It's an irony that Marx might have cherished that down in London, where Mike Newton's electronic control systems monitor the snooker tables, one young unemployed player sees the system through very different eyes.